for now. But yo, it's Femencio. I'm gonna be doing some drawing for finishing the line art of Towa. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish the line art of Towa today, but we'll have to see how far I go. Let me quickly scuff, of course. But yeah, we're gonna do some well, not random, finishing the line art of Towa. I hope you all are having a good morning or evening or night, whatever time it is for you. For me, it is almost nighttime. Well, it is nighttime. It's almost time to go to sleep, but I want to get in some, daily drawing before I end the day. So, what better way than to just finish up the lineup for Towa? I did a few sketches. I did this sketch like a few days ago, and I was like debating whether I should finish it or not. I'm like, it's already like halfway done. It's like almost like complete, so why not just actually finish it and just keep going with it? Because like there's no point in like doing the whole sketching and coloring without actually finishing the line art, because it actually looks pretty decent. I was going to like make this out to be a, what do you call it, make this out to be a relatively rough sketch of what I wanted and just like as practice, but I'm like looking through it, I'm like, it's actually somewhat decent, and I'm actually able to potentially turn it into a drawing. So I'm just gonna continue doing this and turn it into an actual drawing I could slowly be happy with, hopefully. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hope everyone's day has been going relatively well. I had a very, wouldn't say interesting. Oh, I forgot to put the music. Background music. There we go. I had a very uneventful day today. Well, slightly uneventful. The only slightly uneventful thing was when I was going to pump some gas. After I finished pumping gas into my car after work, I was just driving normally to the stoplight, and then a car was just like blocking the road because they were coming out of like a parking lot, and it was a three-lane road, and they wanted to get to the farthest lane away from them, and they just took up the first two areas, or the first two lanes, and then just stood there for like a solid minute not knowing what to do. And I'm like, bro, you are holding up the traffic, please. And I just like let them go and just waited for them to finish, and they almost did like a K-turn or a three-point turn maneuver to try to get into the very far left lane, and I'm like, oh my lord. Some people who don't know how to drive. One noticeable thing about the car though, it was a Hello Kitty car, so I'm like, oh, that doesn't bode well. That's probably an Asian driver. And that's gonna make me look bad, because I'm also an Asian driver. Like, oh no. I already drive bad enough as it is sometimes. But luckily, I would like to say, luckily I haven't been into any major accidents, but I did get into one car accident like a wee while ago. But that was like 4 years ago, so that's not really that bad. And it wasn't my fault for that one. But the more scary thing was like the most recent accident that happened near me, but not to me, was like I was driving home from a friend's house, and I was like I was driving one of my friends too, as we lived like an hour away from them. And when we like when we entered the highway, the car in front of us was like swerving back and forth. It was like also 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, so I'm like, geez, is this guy just like drunk driving on the highway? Well, it's a Sunday night, so I would assume they're like a little bit drunk or very tired. So I'm like, ooh, gotta be very careful not to drive so close behind that guy. And I just kept my distance, but then like not even a quarter mile down the road, we just see a bunch of barriers or a bunch of trucks driving really slowly with cop cars in front of them, and I'm like, oh, well, this is gonna be a thing. So I just slowed down on the brakes and was like waiting for the construction or whatever the heck was happening on the highway to pass by. But as we were like at a complete stop on the highway, my friend was like, yo, Sio, you hear that? I'm like, huh? No, I don't hear anything. I just hear the music. And then next thing you know, I look to my left, I hear, and then I hear a bang right in front of me. I look and I'm like, damn, some guy just like drove right by us on the shoulder because we were like on the very far left lane of the highway, and then someone probably wasn't checking or wasn't like, you know, properly paying attention to the road to see that like the whole traffic in front of them was stopped. So when they saw us, I guess they rammed into the guy 2 cars behind us, swerved left, hit the shoulder, and then hit the car in front of us. So I'm like, holy shoot, holy shit. I'm like, I'm glad we didn't get hit, but I'm also very horrified that that happened like right in front of us on the way home. And then we're like, is anyone actually majorly hurt? Did the car get damaged? We saw the person who got crashed into walk out of the car safely, so there wasn't anything too bad, and luckily cops were already on the scene because of the traffic or the construction or whatever the heck was going on in front of us, so that was able to like relatively be resolved quickly. But that was also just a very frightful thing just to witness, front and center of just the car scooting right past us. I'm honestly very surprised that it didn't like hit my car or scrape my car at all. The car managed to crash into the car 2 cars behind me, scrape against the bumper shoulder, and then hit the car in front of me. And I'm like, holy shit. And the back of the car in front of me got totaled, absolutely totaled. And I'm just glad that it didn't hit me from the side, because if he rebounded from the shoulder into me, that would have, I probably wouldn't be speaking for a while, or be here for a while. So, luckily, nothing bad happened. But after that, me and my friend were like, yeah, for now on, whenever we go visit a friend's house that's like maybe an hour and a half away, we're probably not going to stay till late at night. We don't really want to run into crazy drivers at night who might cause an accident while driving, either drunk or driving, what do you call it? Driving very tired. So we don't want to run into another potential accident on the way home from a friend's house again, because that's just a no-go for me. Especially since I'm usually the one driving, since my other friend can drive, but it's not fully insured. So I'm like, man, so I'll just drive. But I don't mind driving that far. It's just, for now on, I do not want to be driving late at night, especially when I have to do like a long drive. I don't want to risk getting into an accident again, or witnessing an accident again. Because, that's enough scares for, you know, one night. I remember another time, the same friend, I'll call him Tenno. But yeah, me and Tenno was driving. Where were we driving home from? I think we went to Round 1. Round 1s were very fun. I love Round 1 arcades. I really want to go to more Round 1s, but the nearest Round 1 to me is like an hour and a half. Probably just an hour with traffic is the nearest Round 1 to me. And I'm like, I really want to, you know, go to Round 1s a bit more often, play some of the crane games, because some of the plushies are also very cool from Round 1s. I really do love the crane games for Round 1s, but also you gotta be careful with your money, because I like won a plushie from Round 1 in like the first 2 tries, and then I'm like, you know what, I want to get a second one of this plushie, and I tried it like, what, 10 to 15 times, and I didn't get anything. So I was like, lesson learned. Don't try crane game after you won something from it. You gotta wait a little bit for the payout to happen. But I was like rushing and like, please, I just want another one. And then I waited a little bit longer into the day, like a few hours after we like played a bunch of rhythm games and dance games. And then we're like, try to get the plushie again. I'm like, it was a no-go, my guy. I couldn't get the plushie that I wanted. It was also of Miku, I think. Yeah, it was a Salamander Miku. So I'm like, man, I wanted a second Salamander Miku. It would be cool to have 2 of the Miku plushies. But I will settle for the 1. I just gotta learn to cut my losses once you win one thing from a crane game. you should not try to go for the second thing from the same crane game. That's why whenever I go to round ones or arcades, I usually just spend my time now just playing the rhythm games, especially round one. I love like DDR Stepmania from like round ones and stuff. It's really fun to test your coordinations when you're doing it. My main thing is I also want to get like one of those cards to keep track of your score. I think it's like a Bandai Namco card or something, where like once you have the card, it can track your scores and progress of like all the rhythm games you play, and you can create your own account through the card. But what I didn't know was like there was multiple cards for different machines, but that was like old information. When I looked it up again, it was like all turned into one card. So I was like looking for asking for like a certain card with a certain, you know, logo on it. Like, oh, we don't have those anymore. And then I saw like other cards with the other logos. That was the Universal logo, but I didn't know it was the Universal logo for like account cards for Bandai Namco rhythm games. So I couldn't get a proper account card to create a rhythm game account for like all of the DDR or Stepmania. Not Stepmania, it's DDR Pump It Up, or I forget what's the other one for the swiping your hands on the screens or otherwise. There's so many different rhythm games at round ones. I want to try them all, but I know that like for the arcade or the rhythm games where you have to like swipe your hands on the screen or your fingers on the screen, I now understand why people wear like the what is it called? The gloves. I don't know if it's velvet gloves or silk gloves or whatever gloves they wear, but I now understand why people wear the gloves while playing rhythm games, because sliding your hands against like a big screen like that feels like you're rubbing your fingers against sandpaper. And I'm like, oh yeah, I would love to play this game. I would love to do more rhythm games with like the touchscreen, but I cannot do it successfully or quickly because it feels like I'm tearing the skin off my fingers. Like every swipe felt like a little bit of my skin was rubbing off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to change the scene. No! Ay, 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 my face is blocking the whole thing. Freaking dingus. Okay, my bad. Sorry. My bad, my bad. I forgot to change the scene. Oopsies. At least I'm glad I realized that like a little bit in and not like an hour in. Oh no. Okay. Anyways, I apologize for that. Let's see. But yeah, I've learned my mistakes though. So for now on, whenever I play like, or whenever I go to an arcade, like round one for the rhythm games and stuff, I gotta make sure to bring the hand gloves, like the very thin fabric hand gloves, so I could just like play it without feeling like the skin is being sanded away. But yeah, it's still fun playing all those arcade games. There's also like the Vocaloid Just Dance version with like a bunch of songs from Miku or Rin and Len, which I also like doing. But it's also just like a little embarrassing when you're actually doing Just Dance in public at an arcade or like some sort of like Just Dance type game. Like, I don't mind doing Stepmania or DDR or Pump It Up in public because it's like, yeah, it's just stepping on a bunch of buttons, but the moment I'm like actually flaring my body around like a fish out of water doing like, I forget what it's called, but it's like the Vocaloid Just Dance. Let me look that up, hold on. I'm curious what it's called again. Round one arcade machines. It's the Round One USA. I do not want to watch your video. Where is that machine again? I forget what it's called. I didn't try the Gitadori. I do want to try the Gitadori machine. I do like Dance Dance Revolution. The 20th model has a lot of cool new songs, especially the VTuber songs or like Ui songs, Shigure Ui songs. But where's that one rhythm game? No, it's not Sound Voltex. Teto Connect is Dance Around. That's what it's called. The Dance Around arcade machine is like a Just Dance. It's like a Japanese Vocaloid Just Dance version. but you do that like in public at an arcade, and I'm like, it's fun to do, but it's also just very embarrassing as you're taking up quite a bit of space and flaring around if you don't know what you're doing. But luckily enough, when I played like the hard a little bit, I somewhat knew what I was doing, and I somehow managed to get like an A, and I'm like, I was expecting to get like a C or D, but I managed to get A, but my friend Tenno was unlucky enough to like fail and get a D, and I'm like just laughing while he's doing it. And then played a bunch of other rhythm games. I did like Tetote X Connect, which is the like swiping your fingers across the screen. It's like a big rectangle, and it had like a bunch of hololive members and hololive songs I wanted to do, but again, that one felt like I was grinding my fingers against sandpaper, which was not fun. Not fun at all. Some of the other rhythm games that I do want to try more of is like Sound Voltex. Sound Voltex is a little bit harder to do, because I think that's the one that involves like the little disc, I believe. Is Sound Voltex that involves the like DJ disc? Yeah, it is the one that has the DJ knobs, not the discs. The DJ discs for the rhythm games is a different one. But Sound Voltex was also fun, but it's just weird getting used to switching the knob or turning the knob for the game. But yeah, it's almost like playing Osumania, but just on steroids. So I do love like all types of rhythm games, and I do want to try more and more of them at arcades. I just hope the arcade I'm going to tomorrow, Dave and Busta's, I remember going there, what, 6 months ago? With my friend, and we were just trying to play the Pump It Up machine, and when we went, the Pump It excuse me, had a burp. The Pump It Up machine was like half dead for some reason. Like the sound was like half muted or like at 50%, and the screen was like completely dim. I'm like, it was fun playing Pump It Up, but it was like also weird because the machine looked like it was like about to be decommissioned. I'm like, I just want to play Pump It Up. I want to play the funny dance game and trip on my feet and maybe fall. And then now I gotta force some friends into playing Pump It Up and see how bad they are with their feet-eye coordination, which is always fun. Because everyone always builds up a little bit of hand-eye coordination, but I don't know how many people are willing to build up feet-eye coordination. And I don't know like if there's any other better ways to train feet-eye coordination besides walking, running, or Stepmania DDR and Pump It Up. Very, very fun games nonetheless. But I didn't also manage to mod my own like DDR mat, or like soft DDR mat. I bought off of Amazon, and now it's like a slightly hard mat by taping it to a, what is it, plywood? Taping it to plywood, and then putting like, what do you call it? A hard carpet cover on it, like a plastic vinyl carpet cover on it. But my biggest mistake for the plastic vinyl on the DDR mat was I did not check if it was ridged or bumped, because like some of the vinyls or like the carpet covers that goes on top of carpets are plastic, and plastic is a little bit slippery on carpet. So it had a bunch of like tiny little spikes on the bottom of it. So when I went to install a little vinyl cover on top of my new hard DDR mat, I realized, shit. I now have to trim all of the spikes off of the DDR mat unless I want to get a very painful foot massage every time I try to step on the buttons on my DDR mat. And I don't really wear shoes when I do the DDR games at my house for the mat that I made. So I had to spend like an hour or two with one of my old college buddies. We just took nail clippers and started like slowly clipping away at the little spikes on the plastic cover for the DDR mat. And then even now, I still like find some spikes that we missed, and I keep stepping on them. Like, why is my foot in so much pain? And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, we missed a spike. And then I have to go in and reclip it. And I'm like, man. And then I just keep going. And if I do ever step on another one, I'm like, is what it is. If my feet get hurt, my feet get hurt. At least I have fun playing Stepmania and DDR in my free time. I actually haven't played DDR or Stepmania in a while. So I gotta bust out the mat again and start playing. There's also plenty of fun games to play, or what do you call it? Songs on Stepmania, if you could find the right beat maps or producers. Let's see. I also know like some people do like weird DDR mat challenges where they like use their DDR mat to where's pants? There's your pants. Use like the DDR mat to complete like random games or like really hard games. I do want to try doing like a random DDR mat challenge with my DDR mat, but I don't know what game I would want to try and brute force with the DDR mats. That'll have to be something I'll figure out in the future. How am I gonna draw her pants without looking weird? What the heck? Okay. Let's see. Boom. No. It needs the little subtle curve. That's like going diagonal down? Yeah, it's going diagonal down. I want to curve upwards and then downwards a little bit like that. Honestly, that works, but I feel like that's a little bit of a too low of a dip. Versus like a very subtle dip is what you'd mainly want. Because it's more of a shorts, not a skirt. But it is tight like a skirt though, isn't it? Let's see, the other side. It does have a little bit of a gap between it, but it's also not as much of a gap as that one. Dang it. Yeah, I'll fix that then. I'll make this a little less wide, so it doesn't look like a skirt and more so like a pants. So something similar to the length that the pants ends off, so like right around here. And then you'd have this come up down here like that, and then I could do like shadows later, but at least I have the line coming up here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that should be good. The rest could be handled with a little bit of... oh lord, what the heck do I call it? It can be handled with a little bit of shading later on, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. Let's see. I have to draw her arm sleeves and then the hair. I think the head is alright. I feel like the head's not as rounded as I would like it to be, but I'm not gonna focus on that right now. I just gotta focus on finishing the outlines of everything. I also have to finish the button. And I also have to get her little, what is it called? Little tattoo, a little heart tattoo. That design's gonna be a little tricky. I'll probably have to practice that a little bit. But again, that will probably just be a coloring thing. Like, done in post during the coloring process. I don't think I need to outline that at all. That one shouldn't be too bad to do, it's just gonna be tricky. Yeah, I could put this like here. Would the pants crease that way in this position? I have no clue. Because it would come up down. I don't know if it would... I feel like it would just continue curving down instead of coming up like that. Ah, we roll with it. Nope, 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 nope. I don't like how that looks. Maybe reverse it? Now let's just do a full-on curve like that. And then we could just do a little bit of a... what do you call it? Little line here. That's close to it, but not too close. Like that. That should do. Because it doesn't need to be too straight, but it also doesn't need to be too out there. And this one would be a little higher here, so it would be like this-ish. But then that would be a little exaggerated through the shading, but let's see how that looks with the line art. I just take that out. It looks decent, but it also doesn't look the best. So let me see if I just continue this line here like that. Make it look like it's just part of the pants. And something like that, maybe? And then I could just enforce that through shading to make it look nicer. Yeah, I could probably enforce that through shading to make that look nicer. Okay, that's not that bad. And then just zoom in all the way and just to add a tiny little depth to the shadow. So leaving a tiny gap feels weird to me, but it will be a lot more understandable once I actually do the shading or otherwise. Let's see this up here. And the pants would come up here like this. I don't think that's actually how it would work. Let's see. You would have. I know that's like full on straight instead of a curve. So, but I don't want it to be like full on straight. I want it to have a little of a curveness to it, as much as it looks fully straight. I always forget how to do pants curves, stuff like that. I don't even know if I'm doing it right half the time. But it all comes down to, does it feel right? Does it look right? Maybe, maybe not. You will never know until you actually do draw it. Once you do draw it, even then, it will still look weird sometimes. So, you just gotta keep doing it. Is there gonna be like little indent, a little tiny indent here and there, but not too bad. Okay. That's it for one of the pants. Legs. I think I made her thighs a wee bit too big. But there's never such a thing as too big of a thigh. So I'll leave it like that. I just feel like this is a little bit too crooked. So I'm gonna have to change this up a little bit. Maybe? That's a little bit more flatter, but did I make her waist curve up a little bit, like slanted? It is slightly slanted, so that would potentially be slanted upwards a little bit instead of slanted downwards like that. So it would mainly be a little bit like this instead. I'd have to get rid of the little edges here. Yeah, I think that's how you'd make that look a little nicer. This will come down here. I don't know, man. This thing is complicated. Okay, nice. Yeah, now that the pants is done, I gotta do this side, the thighs, and then the most difficult part is making the hair look half decent. And then this part of the top looks flat, but again, that should stand out a wee bit more once I do shading. I also have to do her belt, and then her little yellow sleeve across. Is there any other things that I'm missing? Is like her arms here. I don't think there's any other things that I'm like truly missing besides a few decals and some of the belt straps, which I don't really feel like doing the belt straps for. And I'm just gonna like make this as simple as possible. And yeah, leave out quite a lot of crucial details. But that is the liberty of doing whatever the heck you want when it's drawing. Hey, let's see. How am I gonna do that? No, I wouldn't follow the shape of the body. I don't need to do that right there. Just do, I think, a little curve here. That should be good. Nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes the pants a little bit tighter. And then hides the thighs behind the other one. Okay. Okay, yeah, that should be good. I feel like this needs to be a little bit more curved. I feel like that's too rigid. When I'm looking at it from afar, it looks a little too rigid. It doesn't look curved enough. It feels a bit off. Okay. I feel like that's a little bit of a thicker line, but... No, that's not thicker. That's just... I went over that line too much, so now it's more darker than the rest. Man! Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. Let's turn the brush back on. I don't know why I didn't just undo the erase mark and I'm just drawing over it, but you know what? I'll roll with it. Do I need to make this as far down? No, but sure. Oh, what's up, Sam? Brother, it's like 1 a.m. again. You still awake? Hey, yeah. Is your sleep schedule that fucked, or is it just too hot again? Hey, what's up? How you doing, Sam? How you doing? Welcome for stopping by. It's 2 a.m. Like 33. It's like 93 or something Fahrenheit in your room. Jesus, mate. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. This is why I live in a nice, cold state. It's not actually that cold. It's okay, we melt. Oh no. You melt like my anime figurines in the summer. They're all gone. They're all disappeared. I would actually be very sad if my anime figurines just started melting. Yeah, the drawing progress has been progressing. I'm trying to do the line art. I'm actually doing a lot more line art than I did last time as I was chatting. Because at least now I have an idea of what I'm doing. And I did a little bit of line art off stream, but by a little bit of line art, I mean I drew like 3 lines off stream and called it a day. Like, let me just do a little bit of drawing today. I won't stream it, but I'll just do a little bit of drawing, and I just drew like 3 lines, and I'm like, that's good enough. That's good enough. I'm like, yeah, some days it's just gonna be like you draw a few lines and then call it a day. But it's still pretty chill. And then let's see. I also saw your Ko-Fi, Sam. It was also cool, the play stuff you made. I saw the sword. There was the blue sword. I forget what it was from though. What you said. Yeah, it's a thought that counts when it comes to drawing. I thought of drawing, so I did a little bit of drawing. That counts, even if it's a little bit short. I feel like the pants is a little short. I could extend that longer. Let's see. Yeah, I need to make her pants a bit longer. That's too short. Oh, no. Undo. It's actually somewhat decent. Terraria, but it was obviously isn't too obvious. It has no special features. Don't worry. I wouldn't know anything from Terraria. I've never played Terraria, and I don't think I ever will. I'm too much of a lazy bum to get into Terraria. Minecraft I can get into, but not so much Terraria. I would say I don't mind side-scrolling, but I also don't like side-scrolling too much. But then again, one of my favorite like MMORPGs, quote-unquote MMORPGs, is a side-scroller. And then some of the games I do like Tony XX, which is like a Mega Man ripoff, is a side-scroller. But then when it comes to like actual long-term play, I'm like, I can't deal with side-scrollers too long. But they're also fun. Yeah. I feel like Terraria would probably be more fun with a group of people, just to do random stuff. I do know, like, you could create like an infinite water source or stuff, and just fill a whole cavern or fill the whole world with water. Let's see. I still don't like how the groin looks. It looks so weird to me. I feel like that pants is also not as far down as it can be. Platformers? Yeah, I do like platformers. I just like any game that allows me to run on platforms, jump and speedrun. Let's see. Ghost Runner is a fun one. I know Volume is a speedrunning game made by like one person that my friend got me into. It's like very indie speedrunning game. And I think there was like only 4 maps in the game, and you could literally complete each of the maps within under a minute. And to get gold for speedrunning the maps, it's like 30 to 40 seconds. And I managed to get gold on all 4 maps. And I somehow managed to equate 8 hours of playtime in the game on 4 maps. Just speedrunning the same maps over and over and over again. I remember I got so delusional trying to like find find the most optimal pathway on one of the maps that, like, during work, when I got bored and I had, like, some downtime, I literally just sketched out the beginning portion of one of the maps, and I'm like, huh, I think I'm a wee bit too addicted to the game. And then the game is coming out in full, I believe. Yeah, speedrunning a new game is fun. Like, yeah, route finding and stuff is always fun, especially volume. I think you spell it frick, how do you spell it? It's V-H-O-U no, V-H-O-L-U-M-E, because they spelt it weirdly. But it's also multiplayer, so you could play it with like multiple people, so yeah, volume. So yeah, me and my friend played that and we were just like in the same like little instance, just trying to race each other and exploring the map, since there's like tiny collectibles in it. So we were able to do that and get like the secret maps from that, which was also fun to explore. And then we spent like another 3 to 4 hours completing four freaking secret maps that each took like a minute to clear. So I'm like, it's fun, but it's also just like so much rinse and repeating, but I just love that rinse and repeating of like trying to find the better path, or like, oh no, you went on this platform wrong, you didn't slide properly, or like, you know, this might be the quote-unquote best speedway, like best way to speedrun it, but it's also just fun to see. And I believe the game is coming out fully this Friday, but I cannot play it on launch because I'll be at Anime NYC at a convention, so I'll have to play that next Monday when I get back from the convention. And I'll probably play that with my friend and try to speedrun all of the things on gold. I might just stream myself trying to get gold and just raging at the game, or just see me like looping over and over again on the maps until I could clear all of them in gold. Because it is fun just doing all of that. But yeah, I was very happy that I was able to hit gold. I wasn't able to pierce like insane numbers like top 10, but I think I was like close to top 50. So yeah, I want to try doing that again and see how far I could get in volume and how fast I can speedrun like the newer maps. Let's see. Then I need to do a little bit of darkness here, but I don't think I need too much darkness. This much darkness? Too. But yeah, speedrunning games like those is fun. What else is it called? Fights. Mirror's Edge, I believe. Mirror's Edge is also another fun game that I also haven't fully played that I also want to speedrun. I just like speedrunning random games. I remember when I played Portal, it took me like 2 hours to complete the full thing, and I'm like, huh, that's not that long. And then when I talked to my friend, it said like he took 3 to 8 hours. I'm like, how did it take you 3 to 8 hours? But then he's like, I was a kid when I played it. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Well, else I just played it like last year, and I was able to just quickly clear it. Because puzzle games are easy until they're not easy. Yeah. It would also be fun for like doing the volume, since you could also just like join a public server and just have a bunch of people running the same maps as you if you want to do something like that. So yeah, that would be something I would look into when I get back next week. Just playing volume and just trying to speedrun all of the maps. Let's see. Yeah, it has multi. And then there's like some cool text when it comes to doing it. It's almost like I put it in the same vein as like CSGO strafing or slides, CSGO slides, I believe. What the heck do you call it? Like when you play the CSGO maps where you just slide along the rails or edges. But it's not exactly like that. But it just reminded me of that for some reason. I also haven't played what do you call it? CSGO slide maps or stuff in a while. Let's see, surfing? Ah, yeah, that's what it's called, surfing. Yeah, CSGO surfing, that's what it is. I like feel like it's almost like surfing, but it's also not. And then like one of the techs I learned when I was doing the like trying to get good times on Valoom is I had to set the squirrel wheel to jump. Yeah, my friends were always really good at like surfing, and I'm like, how the heck? I also want to get back into CS:GO surfing if there's like still maps for that. I just like random parkour obby stuff because growing up I just played a bunch of random Minecraft obbies or Roblox obbies and just like trying to speedrun it, like Roblox speedrun obby, hardest difficulty, and I would just love just trying to clear that as fast as I can. I would always watch like random Minecraft parkour videos or Minecraft like whatever the heck Minecraft obby videos, and I'd just like download the maps and try to speedrun it myself. And I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty easy, and it's just pretty fun to try to go fast. Especially you gotta go fast, and whenever I get to go fast, I like to have a lot of fun with that. It's also just cool being able to be like, damn, I cleared that in record time, and you can slowly see yourself improving on it and getting better. And then I go into a nutcase trying to theorize the best ways to speedrun it, and then I'm like, I could just watch like how the #1 person does it, and I'm like, but that way doesn't look fun. I want to try doing it in a very stupid way. Because I know like when you, for volume, when you bind your jump to scroll wheel, you could just scroll wheel, like have it on free spin, and just spin the scroll wheel, and you just constantly jump. So if you do like a sprint, jump, crouch, and while you're crouching, you just keep jumping, you just keep bouncing. It's like instant b-hopping, and you can gain so much speed with that. But I'm like, man, that feels like cheese, and I also just like the feeling of jumping from wall to wall to wall to wall and wall running. As much as like the best times you could get from like b-hopping, I just like to do the dumb stuff of bouncing from wall to wall to wall and just getting completely dizzy. Or motion sick from doing that. Because it feels cool. It feels like you're almost like Spider-Man. And I'm like, I feel like I'm almost like Spider-Man or some random parkour guy. But yeah. I gotta try that out again. I also have to play Volume a little bit again, because when I tried playing Volume, after taking like a few days break, I was so rusty. I was like, damn, how did I do that? What was the button for this? What was the speedrunning tactics that I tried to do? And then like there's quite a few skips you can do for the maps, but I cannot mentally wrap my head around how people do skips in some speedruns or games like that. Because those ones are actually like genuinely a little bit tricky to do. But whenever you do manage to clear one of the maps and get like gold or like really high, it's always like very big adrenaline rush and the greatest feeling of success when you just try to speedrun something and actually succeed. Let's see. Yeah, that should be good there for that. Now I just want to play Volume, but no, I gotta finish the line art for this. I just want to hop onto the game and play, but I can't do that. I must finish the strong at the very least. Or at least the line art. Still don't like how I made that a little too squarish. I think people will make custom maps. Potentially? I don't know if the guy will allow custom maps for it. It would be very cool if he did. I was also talking to my friend, like, if he wants to, it's like, with how the first map is like very open world, like almost open world, and you can like travel inside of the map, like into the center of the map. Since for Volume, the first map, you just run around it, but there's like a center of the map that you could go into and explore, and it's its whole area to explore. I'd be like, this would be a fun thing to like race against your friends, or turn it into truly friend slop game, or just a cool friend game, is to add tag into the game, because the movement is very fun. I really do enjoy the movement in that game, and it would be real cool to just like try and play tag or something within the game besides just speedrunning it, just to add a little bit more options of things to do in the game. But I would not know how they would register for the tag or like code the tag mechanics, but I don't think it would be too hard. But it's also depending on if they want to whether keep the game purely for speedrunning. But yeah, it would be cool if they added like tag or something just to try. Let's see, I could add a little bit more shadows like right here. It's always difficult trying to find where I will toss the shadows. Let's see. Yeah, that should do. I think that's pretty much the body. Let's see what it looks like without the color. Looks half decent. It looks pretty oh, I forgot to do the line on the sleeve of the jacket. That's my bad. Let's see. Yeah, this needs a little bit of the line for the blue. We should be good. Let's see, I don't know if there's any other speedrunning games. I do know I did play Getting Over It, and I do love that game. A lot of people rage at the game. I love Getting Over It. I managed to get my clear time to 10 minutes, but I was never able to get my clear time to like sub 8 or sub 5. But I do want to try try to reach like a sub 8 or sub 5 minute Getting Over It run. There's always like certain parts of like the map that always tricks me. I just don't like what do you call it? 10 is very decent for Getting Over It. It's just I know I can do better. I can do better. And then seeing how people actually speedrun Getting Over It, I'm like, that's freaking insane. But it's like, I can do it maybe one day, potentially. I want to try to at least... Because I know there's a few areas that I'm just like, not good at in Getting Over It. It's like the iceberg area, climbing up the mountain to the electric pole, or to the signal tower after the bucket. I usually like spin the hammer willy-nilly trying to get up that and just pray I hit the notch correctly, and then once I hit like the first 2 or 3 knots correctly, I take it slow on the last 2, but it's always me just struggling to get the first 2 or 3 little notches in the mountain. I'm trying to get the hammer into that before I can actually climb that. Or, what is the other area that I struggle with? Just the bucket itself sometimes. Getting onto the bucket and getting on top of the mountain is also another struggle when it comes to doing that. But it's still fun. It's still fun trying to speedrun that. I think that should be decent for the picture. I could just etch this on like a little shadow here to make it a little bit more in depth and give it a bit more of a bump. Little pants belt, buckle thing, pants thingy. And then I will have to incorporate this, that, maybe? And if I just erase this here, that should still be pretty good. I also know like there's Jump King, and I have not fully tried Jump King yet either. Jump King would be, well, I've tried the hololive version of Jump King, where they have it in, what do you call it? What's the shit? I forgot the hololive Vampire Survivors game, where like a fan made a hololive version of Vampire Survivors. And that was also fun, and I wasted quite a lot of time trying to play through that. But it was also very entertaining. That is not good for the lines here. That line could most definitely be buffed up. Let's see. It actually doesn't look that bad at it from a distance. Just looking at it close up looks iffy. Looking at it from a distance is not bad. Okay. I just gotta stop looking at things straight on. Okay. I There we go. There we go. Let's see. Nope, that's the rotation button. Okay, now I have to do the little line here, and then that comes down here. That, and this comes straight down here. Does it come down? I think this, like, maybe not like that. Maybe like this. I think that should do. It's not fully centered, which pisses me off. And do I have to make this fully centered? Probably. Let's just get the back one first, and then we could do the front one. Then the front one would be something like this. Or increase this a little bit. That's just a tiny bit. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough for the pants. For the pants decals, that's good enough. I do not want to add her belts because I'm too lazy. And that is a lot of straps. A lot of straps and a bow. Very interesting way to tie the bow. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that for now. I'm gonna go on to her little belt buckles now. The one across the chest, little actual clip itself, and then over here. I might add just these little shoulder pads over there, and that's all. I do not know how I'm gonna prospectively put this little strap onto her sleeve here. So I might just ignore that entirely. That also adds dynamicism to it, though. But I'm gonna ignore it because I'm lazy. Let's see. Okay. Let's stop talking about what I'm gonna do and actually do what I'm gonna do. Let's see, where is it? This one, that one. Okay. Let's see. That one. This one's the jacket layer. Okay, this layer is where I want to do the clip. Okay. Gotta make sure I'm not in reverse. Yeah, okay, that should be good. Okay. Let's see. First, we need to do a straight line here. Then a tiny little line here. A line there. Diagonal. Little bump. Would it be that thick? Yes, it would be a little bit thicker. So it would be like here to here. I could probably do like a mirror tool to make this easier on myself, but... Wait. I'm so confused. Okay, no. Okay. This could come up here, like this, and go there. And then the little notch comes over here like that, over that. And then this would go a little higher. Make this a little larger. Just like that. And make this come down a little bit and come down like that. Nice. And this would just come straight out. That. I believe. Yeah, it would come straight out like that, and then I can... That's... yeah, that looks straight enough to me. That looks straight enough to me. And then I could do something like this, bring this down, and then just put a little clip like that. It's barely touching. Yeah, something like that. And you'd have like a little straight across like this for the actual inner clip of that. Then coming off of that will be this right here. Little square. How am I gonna do that? Very carefully. Say it there, come down here. Then go there. Okay. That one's slightly easier. Not easier. It's doable. I feel like I need a little more space to do that though. Something like here. I feel like this one would come here. And this would actually go here and then here like this. Potentially? Yeah. I made this probably too small, but it's not about the size, it's about how you use it. I will use this wisely. Oh, that's the wand tool. I don't need the wand. Need to erase you and bring you down to like right here, like that. Nice. That's enough for the little clip there, or the little buckle. That is not my eraser tool. Where's my eraser tool? There it is. There we go. This comes down. Voila. That does not look good. That looks off. I'll fix that. Okay, so this don't need to be round. This could just be straight. This could be absolutely straight. Belt, just like right there. Covering a little bit here, but not too much peeking out. Tiny bit peeking out. I think my problem was I made it too indented. And this just has to be like a very subtle indent. Like that. Okay. It's decent for the buckle there. I gotta do the belly button now. Would I draw her belly button? Where's her belly button? So she has a like little teardrop notch as her belly button. So I could do something like this. No. It works, but I don't like that. Maybe something like this. Let's probably make this a bit thinner. Let's make this a 3. I didn't mean to make it a 3 transparency. Let's make this transparency 70. This size 3. And just do a very thin belly button. Then I will establish more so of this in shading and coloring, so that it's a little bit more better. That? No. That's no. Big no-no. No-no from me, my guy. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better to have the belly button like right there. I don't know if I made that a little bit too tall. I think something like this shall do. And then I will embellish a little bit on her piercing when I get to that. Next, I need to do her arm sleeves, and then her hair. Oh, also her belt that goes under her little strap. Okay, that should still be pretty decent. Okay, let's see. This one is the whole jacket. This one is the little buckle, so I would use it on this layer. Let's do the belts real quick. Yeah. Nope. Bring that back to 0 transparent. I mean, bring that to 100% transparency for brush size. There we go. Cross, and then cross again. Right here. There and there. Yeah, that works. That works indeed. Okay. I could get rid of this, and I could get rid of this. Just willy-nilly. Willy-nilly. All I need to do, I'll leave those lines in for now. Oh. I'll leave those lines in for now, just purely so I know where I could draw the belt buckle. I could erase this. I can erase this. I just gotta make sure I don't erase the actual jacket strap right there. Should be good. There we go. Okay. I love characters with like a lot of belts on them. Belts or little patches like the one Towa has over here. But it's just very tedious to draw sometimes. Because you gotta get the belt angles properly, or you have to be able to understand where it all comes from and where it all goes. And that confuses my brain a lot. Let's see, what else do I need to do? Come down here. And I can put that there and put this like right here. Next I would need a little notch here. I'll come down here. Oh, nope. Nada yo. Down here, and it comes down. That's straight? That's not straight. That's semi-straight. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice. Okay. I think that would be a little bit more rounded. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. And bring this up a little bit for the little buckle. And then I should be all set. Okay. I am so surprised that I'm actually making decent leeway on this. I thought I was only going to be able to do like a few of the lines here and there, but I guess the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with it, and the more comfortable I get with it, easier it becomes to do. Which, I pretty much already knew that, but I still doubted myself when I was doing this, which doubt is always not your best friend. That's also a little bit uneven, but when you zoom out, all the way out, like, doesn't even matter. Yeah, it doesn't even matter because you did it on the wrong side anyways. Dang it. Nope, that's wrong. Move that there. Okay. I did it on the wrong side. On this side. Okay, there we go. Now that's the proper side. I was wondering why that looked a little bit off. I don't know if it's like 100% necessary to make it like properly on the correct side, but I do want to try to make it at least somewhat accurate. Let's see here. Now let's just draw two lines here. I also constantly hide her hands. I really gotta stop hiding hands for characters and practice drawing hands. I have to spend like a day just drawing hands and practicing hands, so I get used to it and I don't just like run away and try to not draw hands. That's the wrong line to erase. This one's the one to erase. There we go. There we go. Okay. The little belt clip, that is also the wrong layer. This layer here. Okay. Here. Then we could round this off just a teeny bit here, and then we should be good. I think. Potentially, we should be good with this. And then I believe this is on the same layer, so I just gotta make sure I don't erase what I just did. Okay. It also doesn't really matter too much, because this is also gonna get erased. And yeah, just a very subtle belt right there. Belt clip. And then I just need to do her shoulder pads. I don't know if I'm gonna redraw the shoulder pads or if I'm gonna do some, what do you call it? What the heck do you call it for the shoulder pads over there? Block it out and use color to find out where I'm actually gonna place those. Okay. Next I need to draw her little belt to there, and then her arm sleeves, and then her hair. I think that's the checklist of everything that needs to be drawn before I could say I've successfully done 80% of the line art. Is just a little belt over here, going across. I'm doing the black version of her after. Oh, I have to draw her wings! I forgot to draw her wings! Oh. Okay, yeah, that's also another thing I have to do. I have to do her wings. I have to do the little yellow straps, and I'll do this tiny little buckle for the shoulders. And that'll be it for everything that goes onto Towa-sama. I think that'll be everything. The piercing will be colored in, and then I'll trace around the piercing. I also got to make sure I keep in mind the color I'm using for this brush. Oh, hello, Towa. I accidentally switched to the other drawing. Okay, there we go. Let's see, what do I want to do next? Belt is done. Gonna do the sleeves. Do I need to do like little holes in the belt? That is very unclear. I can't see that. That could be a coloring thing, or I could just do that in the line art right now. I'll make the holes in the belt a coloring thing. Something I mainly do in posts during the coloring process. So let's worry about this little yellow strap on top of the top. Let's see. I think I could do it on this layer. Yeah, I could do it on this layer. That'll be easy for me to erase anything that's not proper for it. Come down here. Here? Then, yeah, okay. So it'd come up here a little bit. Say it comes up to here. But you'd want to end it like a little before the middle. So like right around here. Probably wouldn't want to zoom in that much for it, but it'll be what it'll be. We'll bring this all the way down. That's... I don't want that to be like full on there, so let's make this like full on here. And go through there. And that's too thin. That's thick enough, yeah, that's thick enough. We'll go with that. A nice clean line. It's this. Give it some little subtleness of it going through. That over there too. Let's strengthen this line. Strengthen this line. There we go. And we will say everything lines up right to that tiny dot right there. And have this curve on top here. Ooh, that gets rid of some of the highlights or shadows. But gets rid of it for good reason. Give more emphasis to this jacket. How much does it stick out? Like a few pixels. I don't need to make it too long then. So I can undo. There you go. Just bring this over here like this. Okay. You just bring that up, and bring that there. Okay, nice. I can erase these little edges. And then where's the jackety? Jacket. What's this? And we get a nice little sleeve there, a little belt. Okay. I don't know if this is like actually one. It doesn't look like it's one full strap. It looks like it next to this like little silver piece here. I don't know how I'm gonna make that actually coherent and cohesive. That's literally something behind something, so I might just ignore the actual cohesiveness of the outfit and just go, yeah, it works, essentially. It might be good enough. It might be good enough. It might not, but it'll be what it'll be. Let's see, if I bring this all the way down here, and I bring this all the way down here, I can make this a little bit more like way, so I'm not accidentally bumping it. And put that there. Okay, nice. Is that too high? It looks good enough from a distance. I don't know why I'm still complaining about it looking bad when I'm looking at it really up close like that. Okay, there we go. There. Sure? Sure, yeah, that works. That works for me. Here, let's back you a little bit. Make you a little darker. I usually try to, like, whenever I go over lines, trying to go in the same direction as the original line, so it doesn't look too weird, but sometimes I forget to do that, and then it looks weird. And I'm like, why does it look weird? And it's like, you didn't follow the original direction. You didn't follow the original way it was supposed to go. Let's bring this down here. And we should be good. And then after this, I keep thinking like, yay, after this, I'm done. And then I keep looking at the hair and I'm like, shit. I really should start doing like I don't know how other people like to do it when it comes to like doing their line art or sketching. Like, do people tend to do like what they like to do first and then save like the harder part for last? Or do they do like the harder part last and then do all the easy stuff afterwards? So that you don't need to worry about doing the harder part and you won't be like avoiding it like the whole time you're drawing. And then by the time you finish all the easy stuff, you look at what you need to do left. And there's only that one tiny hard part that you avoided the whole session or this whole time. And you have to like suck it up and actually do it. For me, I just avoid it until I actually have to do it. And then I go, damn it, can't avoid it anymore. But it'll still be fun. Let's see, let's bring you down. Yeah, that's a little bit uneven, but I can live with that. This needs a little bit more darkness here. Just emphasize the little thickness of everything. And then this right here. This? Yeah. Yeah. That right there. That right there looks good. Remove color. Remove color. Line art looks decent. Has some shadows here and there, so it's not too plain when you take the color off. But you can still use just a little bit more work here and there. Okay. You can probably darken some areas and make the shadows a lot thicker, so I can have more depth to the line art. I also know you could also like make the border of the line art like extremely thick, or like use thick lines to separate certain sections of the drawings. But I don't know if I'm gonna want to trace over all of the line art secondary, just to try to make the lines a bit thicker. Yeah, so there's the neck, there's a little white strand. Down there. Good. I don't think there's any weird intersections for any of the lines. There's just a few shadows in the corner. Let's just finish her arm sleeves and then I'll do the ponytail. As much as I want to keep avoiding the ponytail, I will have to finish the ponytail at one point in time. I'll be right now. So don't know if I want to make this like tangent to each other, because I don't really like having things tangent. It also makes it look a little bit weird. So I'm just gonna have this arm pop up there in an extremely weirder way than if I were to do it the normal way. And we'll see what happens for how that elbow is gonna fit and everything. Let's see, like there. Spin me right round. Okay, come on. Let's finish this arm. Go there. Boom, boom, boom. Elbow time. Elbow mac and cheese. I haven't had that in a while. Oh, I know why I haven't had that in a while. Every time I eat any type of elbow mac and cheese or Kraft mac and cheese, I end up hogging the toilet for a few half an hours. So I think that's why I don't eat elbow Kraft mac and cheese anymore. But they were so good back in the day. I love mac and cheese. It's just my body doesn't love mac and cheese, but I love mac and cheese. Oh, why does the cruel world does this to me? Why when I like to eat the foods that I like, be it cheese or mac and cheese or any type of dairy, it tastes so good. My body rejects it no matter how much I try. No matter how much I try to get better at it, my body still rejects it each time. And then I don't know, you always gotta be careful what you eat sometimes. For me, I always have to be careful when I eat like pizza. I don't eat pizza often. Whereas like, yeah, I don't eat pizza often enough so that whenever I eat pizza, my face starts breaking out. I think it's like from all the oil and grease in the food. Because I eat like semi-clean, or I don't eat at all sometimes. So when I actually do eat like greasy, oily, fast food stuff, my face is very prone to breaking out. Which I'm like, man, such a pain whenever you get like a lot of pimples, or pimples starting to form, and you know it's going to take like a few days before it actually officially forms, and then another few more days before it actually goes away. Which is the most annoying thing about pimples, especially when like an occasion's about to happen. Like if you have to go to a party, or go to a wedding, or go to like a convention or stuff, you just start getting pimples and breaking out, and it's like, I don't want to be breaking out right now, right before the trip, right before the vacation or the party. Then I always make the same mistake of like, I let my guard down, I see like a lot of people eating some of the junk food, eating some pizza, eating some burgers. I'm like, you know what, that looks pretty good. I eat a slice of pizza or a whole personal pizza pie, and then my face breaks out like crazy. And my face just becomes oily for the next like few days. It's never fun. Never fun whenever your face just breaks out. Always gotta be careful. Or I just have to start eating a wee bit more junk food here and there to get my body accustomed to it. Which I don't want to do that. I just want to eat clean and occasionally have the cheat day. Not have to worry about my face breaking out or getting some weird pimples here and there. What doth be the woes of life? No matter how much you try, Acne will always be there to keep you company. Your best and your worst times. Mostly your worst times. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Do some shadows here. Be good. I don't know if I want to do like a little shadow here. Yeah, I think a little no, I think it would only make sense to go on the arm. It wouldn't make sense to go here because over here is just dead space. This is all dead air. It's just gonna be transparent. That's a see-through sleeve. It doesn't need to be like anything over there. Okay. Yeah, that's where all of the actual shadows is gonna be. There's gonna be like some subtle shadows like here, I believe. You'd have something like this. You have some of the hair and otherwise, and then I have to do that arm. I think that's almost complete. Or so I keep saying. Or so I keep leading myself to believe that it is complete. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually happy with that for now. Here I thought this was going to be a lot harder than it actually is. It's a lot more... Well, it's not even that tedious. I'm actually enjoying and finding it relaxing to do line art. Line art is like one of the better phases of drawing for me. I do enjoy just relaxing, trying to get it looking nice, and then it looking shitty. Let's see. But yeah, that's actually pretty good. Actually pretty solid. I do know sometimes when I do the line art, I'm like, man, it looks way worse than the actual sketch. And that's probably because I did like a very messy sketch and I became used to looking at the sketch version of the drawing, and the line art just looks a bit weird because it's not as thick as the sketch is, or it's not as like messy and scrappy as the sketch. And I do like a little bit of the messy and scratchiness when it comes to like pencil type stuff, which is why I like using pencil brushes for sketching. And I did try using like pencil brushes for line art, but I'm like, it's good, but it's not exactly what I want to use for my style, because the pencil brushes also tend to leave like a very thick outline, and I don't really like to use that thick of an outline or line art. I like to have a little nice thin and subtle line art here and there. As now that I finish this arm, I'm gonna go crazy adding a lot of thickness to the line art and just completely ignore what I just said about wanting to keep the line art nice and thin. I'm gonna try to make it nice and thick. Let's see, I don't know if I would need to put like a little shadow here to indicate that's going over there. I think that should be good. And this torso is good, but it feels like it thins out when you're looking at it from a distance. I wanted to just thicken that just a little bit and just darken it. Very lightly darken it. It's like you barely notice it. You notice it, but you barely notice it, is like some things you do. But it's like, you don't really notice like the minute details. When you look at it overall, it's like, it looks exactly the same, but you just are led to believe it changed the whole thing when you're like zoomed in and like looking at it all the time. Which is why I'm actually enjoying the process that I've been doing for this. Is like 2 to 3 hours working on it a day, and then just stepping away for a day and then coming back to it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm not as burnt out when I'm trying to draw it and I just take my time. I can actually just enjoy it. I do just take my time and take it slow and take it simple and take it easy. And now the part that I really don't like is this hair. I don't like how I drew her hair, and I feel like I could do it better. And I gotta remember to draw her wings. Draw her wings, draw her wings, draw her wings. How would her wings look in this perspective? Especially this one, on this side, because the body's a little angled and the arm's up there, and the body's angled. So the wing would be clipped off by the arm here. And then the other wing would be coming up over here, this side. That's gonna look very weird for the wings. I'll play around with that in a little bit. Let's just get her up I don't want that Towa. I want this Towa. Okay, let's just get her hair done. Let's see how the actual hair flows versus how I made her hair flow. There's also a bunch of like multiple strands here and there. But I want to try blocking it in one more time and then tracing over the few strands that I do make. Yeah, nah, let's just do random stuff. Let's just randomly assign the hair. Don't need to go crazy with it. If it comes out nice, it comes out nice. If it comes out shite, it comes out shite. And I'll just move on and call it a day. The main thing for this drawing is just to get the overall composition down and to make it look half decent. I'm not trying to perfect the hair. I'm not trying to perfect anything besides getting a done and finished thing. So I don't need to focus too much on like trying to get the most perfect hair, the most perfect everything. I just need to get something down, or so I say, as I will probably try to perfect the hair over and over again so I get something that looks half decent. How would I do this curve? Like this? Bam, nope. Bam, nope. Bam. Yeah, that looks good. Looks a bit thin, but looks good. Just slowly trace over it very carefully. Not make it look too thick or too weird. Oh, the connection looks weird. It doesn't look that weird. I'm looking at the overall photo. I'm like, it looks a little off to me, but also doesn't look off to me. Oh well. It will. It'll be what it'll be. I can't linger on that. So if I linger on that, I'll just spend too much time trying to clean it up. So let's just continue. And then I'll hydrate after I erase a tiny bit of this tip. Rid of that tip, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of the tip gone. There we go. Line art. My favorite step, but also one of the longer steps. But even then, coloring is probably still going to be longer than anything. Oh boy, do I love chugging water. Okay. Water down. Let's see. Gotta do more of the hair strand. Yeah, her hair strands are more like individual. I made her hair a wee bit more like a whole block of hair, so I might have to differentiate that a little bit. And the only way to differentiate it decently is to actually do multiple hair strands. Am I going to do this in a very scuffy? I'm going to do this in a very scuffed way. I'm going to decrease the opacity of the color just a little bit more. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to create a new folder, put that new layer in the folder. I'll call this hair strands. Hair strands. And then I'm going to try, because I changed the color of my brush, and it's going to be hard to color pick the right color again. Except for I just go right onto her eyes and I actually get that color back. I'm an idiot. Now I need to go back to my new hair strands layer and I have to pick a random color. Let's say purple again. Let's go a little bit of a dark purple, light purple actually, because I need to see the edges. Let me get a decently thick brush, not too thick of a brush. And see how I can create a strand of hair coming off of this, going down. Okay, so this is going to be like a strand here, going like that, going like this. This will be one strand. I want to make it thicker. Yes, but I also don't want to make it too thick, or else it will look weird. I think something like this will do for one strand. And then this will follow all the way up here. Will it follow all the way up there? It would follow like maybe here-ish. Maybe here like that. Maybe here like maybe like that. I do like how that spikes up instead. I might redo the hair to look like that. Like up. A little bit like this. This is how I would do her ponytail. Potentially. Potentially. Yeah. Potentially her ponytail should look like that instead. And then I just highlight this and move this down. Nope, I shrink this a little bit. Move that down a little closer. Closer, like right there. That's decent for first layer of the ponytail. Why mouse? You know work mouse. Why? Oh, cancel. I opened up expand pixels on the other screen. That's my bad. Okay, so that's one strand of the hair. The other strand of the hair, the ponytail, you'd have like another strand branch off, like maybe around here. And this one would it be longer or would it be shorter? It'd be that. Make this one curve here. Yeah, let's make that one curve here like this. And this could come down into a sharp. That's so yeah, that comes to a big one, that comes to a small one. I'm gonna have like a tiny one come down here. No, because that looks like a crow's foot, and I don't want to make that look like a crow's foot. I have like another one come over here like that. But I would differentiate that with a different color and a different strand, so probably not like that. And then, let's see, anything else I would do to this strand here in general? Not really. Just need to erase this into a little pointy tip. This is the blocking method that I usually have to use when I draw hair strands. I could also just do, like, can't I? Hold on. Brush, the pen, change the effect to a border effect, and then have an edge color be this. Nope. How do I pick this? Move this here, eyedropper, pick you. Okay. This thinner. And then, how do I chroma key this again? I forgot how to chroma key this. What if I do, currency? No, that doesn't work. Also, I don't like how it's not clean on the edges like there. I'm gonna use the outline. So I don't like using outline sometimes. Or using the outline hack as a brush. Okay, no, I'll properly trace. I'll properly trace my little brush strokes. Okay, that's one part of the hair, the other part of the hair. And then we'd have a few more strands popping off of there. So let's do a darker purple. And then let's have a strand pop off and then come back onto this, like right here. Like this. I'm gonna make this into a little point. I really should have made these on two different layers, but oh well. Just make it a little bit sharper, like here. Maybe? Is that how? Yeah, slightly how. Then you'd make that a little bit of more straight. Would that work? I feel like that's too much of a gap between the two of them. Let me redo that. New layer. And then, that's too thin. That's too thin. This back to, I think it was 70? It should come off around like the same here. So maybe 60. Then off like that. And it comes behind there. And we'd have like another larger layer come off here. like this. Yeah. How do you do this, man? This, and then you'd have a little bit come here, like that. For this, come over like that. Say you have another slightly darker color, darker purple, thinner, a little bit fatter, and then it comes down here like that, and comes more of a little point and comes down, point and comes, little point and comes down, point and comes down, something like that. I'll clean up the lines as I do this, but as long as I have the general rough shape on how I want to do this, it's good enough for me. Next comes the most tricky part, and that will be inner little strands of hair and trying to make that look nice and flow evenly. That's gonna flow off screen. That's definitely gonna flow off screen. That's most definitely gonna flow off screen. Okay. I could also move this little purple strand like a little higher to come around where her shorts end, because the pink strands go past this a little bit. So that should still be good. Technically, these strands here like come close to each other like that instead and loop on top of each other. But I can just not do it that way. That would be a little bit weird like that. Okay, yeah. That make it be a little bit weird. Still don't understand how to do hair, but I will. Okay. New layer, new thing, new strand, new brush, new everything. Okay, up. And that's the undo button. I meant to do the brush increase size, please. Thank you. Make this 70 again, and do another strand of hair. This is gonna go underneath the purple layer, so this would probably be like here. Let's just have this one. Did I move the whole thing by accident? No, okay, I'm good, I'm going insane. Okay, that goes here. Something like this. Then you could come off with a strand there. Then you'd have another strand come off like around here. That. Then you'd have some strands like actually come up here. Like curve that way. And they'd curve off screen. This one you could say curves a little bit like this. For one of the strands. Okay. Do a new layer. Let's do a new strand. Let's do a new color. Another strand will come, say, straight down. And then, like here. How's that strand supposed to go? Yeah, okay. Let's just do this in a nice, clean, swift motion. I don't confuse myself. In swift motion, he says. It's all shaky and wobbly. I'm gonna look at the larger picture I have on the other screen. Still not understanding how the ponytail works. Why did I choose such a... It's not complicated. I'm just not putting two and two together, as always. Let's see, this one could just be like that. It could come up here, and this could come maybe here. And then this could be a little bit larger. And you'd have another strand. Weird. Okay. Anyways. Another strand, come down there. Let's do another color. Let's do very light pink. Let's go here. Let's come up here. And go, or let's just do some random strand going this way. No, because that blends with this. Let's make this red. I can't keep using shades of purple and pink, or else they'll just all blend together. Let's see. That would go like there. Essentially. You just cover an overlap. Don't need to overlap it too much. But that's actually a decent amount of strands there. Then you just have like one strand come up over here like this, then come down and around like that. Yeah, I'd have one random strand come down here, and then you'd have like maybe it branches off like right around here into a thinner strand here. So something like this. And then branches right back on. So if I darken this a little bit and I turn it here, and then it'd be something like that for that strand. I guess that works for her hair. It's not the best of things. It's not the most prettiest looking thing, but I think once I actually start doing the line art of it, it will look half decent. I believe. It will look half decent, potentially. Okay. Let's go back to the hair layer. Let's erase what I have here. And let's try again the line art. Okay. Color. That's the proper brush. Okay. We got it. Let's see. The problem is which one do I want to start with? Hide everything that is not needed. So let's hide nope. This one? Nope. This one. Let's hide everything besides the main purple one. So that's the first one that I'm going to base the whole hair strands off of. Okay. Where is her hair? I gotta stop looking at her hair and just actually start doing it. Okay. Let's see. How the heck am I gonna get this curve done? I want to try getting this done in like one swift curve, but I know that's not possible. I do know you could like slowly trace over it with like stabilization, but I refuse to use any type of stabilization and just try to do things in whatever way I can. Nope. 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 Definitely not. It looks like that one water Pokemon. Yeah, with the little fins extending off of it. Okay. I'll probably just have to do it section by section then. Bring this up here, just flick it. Just flick it. Then you just gotta flick it downwards a little bit. This way. Nope. 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 There we go. I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's just try, and then I'll connect it later. It will look a little off. I'll connect it later. I do know some people also just don't connect the lines at all when drawing. Just leave them be a little gap and call it a stylistic choice. Leave the gaps between the hairs or between lines and just leave it like that, and just becomes part of the style once they're able to balance it. I like to make all my lines connect. And I also don't know how to make all my lines connect without making them look staggered or off. No. This is where I should fall into the trap of stabilization, but I will not use stabilization. I, again, refuse. I refuse. Okay. Let's curve this down. Yeah, that's the right brush, that's the right size. Just curvature. Something like this. Probably darken the tip. And we should be good. Like right there. Right there. There we go. I can see that this darkens a little bit, I think. Yep, that's the one. So this is the one that has a little bit too much of a dark edge right there. Could shave that off a little. We look all the way out. Still looks pretty decent. Okay, we're good. We are good. The hair. Am I gonna leave that like really jagged curve? Probably. Actually, not too bad. It still throws me off, but I'll leave that little jagged edge. I'm not gonna fuss about it too much, even though I am really just not satisfied by it. but it will be the heart of the cards. It is the luck of the draw, quite literally luck of the draw, and I'm not gonna spend another 20 minutes drawing the same line over and over and over and over again to get like the most perfect hair strand or line looking hair strand. So I'm just gonna try to see what I can do with this. Do this here. Nope. There we go. Maybe? Yeah, no, that works. That works. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There. Okay, nice. I have no clue what I'm doing anymore. Oh, I don't like how that looks. That looks horrendous. It's not that horrendous. It just looks uneven. It doesn't look like it flows properly. Again, it might drag my attention, but when I zoom out, it doesn't look that bad. Simulate just so. Oh! Oh no, what did I do? What? Why is her hair all the way up there? What? Huh? What? What? Why is... Huh? How do I move you back? What? Why is her hair all the way up there? Huh? Oh no. What did I do to her hair strand? Where's her hair strands? That's not her hair strands. This is her hair strand? Yeah, that's her hair strand, but it only moved her top hair here for some reason. I'm back down. Oh, cut off all of this stuff too. Dang it. Okay. Should be good. Should be good. Okay. It's not exactly the best, but sure. Sure. I'm not gonna let that get me down. I say. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what next. There's the proper line. I mean pen. Okay. This feels a little too thick, and then the transition is off. Sure. And let's just boom. Boom. But then I would have to do like a third line somewhere here. That is entirely the wrong brush. Okay. Then something here, and then something like that. Nope. Boom. Boom. Nope. Dang it. Okay. How do I make this seamless and not as thick as it is? I don't want to make it too thick, and I don't want to make it too thin. I also don't want to make it too grass bladey, looking like a blade of grass. Oh, I know how. I just do something like this. And I come off here, and then I just bring that like here, and then I bring this like here. Triangle? No. Just make a tiny thin one here. And then just make another one come elsewhere. Why am I not able to hit the same line again? I think I've been drawing too long. Not even long, it's only been 2 hours. Let's see. 2 hours. Oh, it's actually pretty been long. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's make this one a bit longer than that strand. I, again, don't want them to be like fully even. So I think something like that will do. Yeah, and then this one will come. Wait. No, it doesn't flow as nicely as I would like it to. Actually, what am I doing? I can also adjust where it lands just by doing this. Please don't tell me I'm gonna move the whole thing. I moved the whole thing. Okay, cancel. Let's not grab this area. Let's not grab this area either. And then let's just adjust you. Let's grab you. And let's just bring you closer. Ever so closer. Yeah, that makes it look like grass, but... What happens if I... No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I refuse. Cancel. Do. Okay. So what happens if I just use that, but then just bring this closer? Then like that. Okay. And I bring you here, and then I just inch you closer. Ah, the love of being able to adjust this on the fly. That's better? It ruins the top of the hair there, but I think I can get away with that. Okay. I can most definitely get away with that. Okay. I can erase you. Oop, too much erasing, too much erasing. Slightly erase you. And then I could straighten this line out a little bit. Oops, too much, too much, too much. Just this tiny little portion. Just get rid of that a little bit. And then thin that out. Oop. Not too much, just subtly thin it out. Ah, screw it. Thin enough. Okay. Next, let's take care of this. That's still not as much as I would like to take care of. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to reconnect this line here. Here. So that's going to be how that strand line up. Up. And down. Yeah, that's gonna be up and then down. That a little bit sharp? Yes. Yes, it is a little bit sharp. And that is not going to connect. No. Up here and then down here? Yes, but not exactly how. Sure, we will play it off like that. Okay. Would at least like to have, at the very least, a decent chunk of the hair done. This is a very, very long strand here. Let's get rid of that. I don't mind the little point here. Just was too long and too extended. Okay. How did I do the other one? So that's the purple down. Let's try the inner highlights. See that right there. I would actually want to adjust this purple highlight. Try to make it... Oh, that's not the proper cancel. Where's the pink highlight? There we go. Make it match that a little bit like right here. And just bring that... Shrink the size of this just a little bit. Something like there. And then I'd have to readjust this to make it like inwards. And bring this down just a teeny bit. Like right there to match, I believe. Okay. And then everything else will come to me of trying to simplify it a little better. Oopsies. I hit the wrong button. I'm good. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay. Okay, no, that's the wrong layer. Okay, there we go. Still feel like this could be done better. Right here. Yeah, okay, nice. I do not like how the hair looks, but yeah. Let's see. Before I continue doing the hair, is there anything else I can fiddle around with and ignore the hair entirely for today? Let's see. And just go over a quick checklist of everything that needs to be done besides the hair for line art's sake. Any other details that I'm missing on her? I need to do her earrings on her ear. But that's another thing I have to add on. The X's on... Actually, let's look at this version of her. I'm not going to draw the headphones. The headphones is going to be too much, so I don't want to draw the headphone. I will draw these little shoulder straps on, but that will be Actually, I could draw the shoulder straps right now. I could use a little bit of a lock-in method to draw the shoulder strap over here. I just don't know how that would come out. That'd be like maybe right there. This is where the shoulder strap would come, and then the shoulder strap for this one will go down this way diagonally. It would follow the diagonal there. Diagonal. It'll become like right around here. For the strap there. And there's like a tiny another separate blue line there if I want to add that there, but this is covered by the pouch there. If I want to draw the pouch. And then the straps on her actual sleeve. It's quite a lot of straps. It's quite strapping, but I'm gonna leave that for next week me, because that's gonna be the next time I'll be able to draw, sadly enough. But I will call this here for the night. The hair has done me in. I will take a little break and practice hair on some other drawings, potentially, maybe, and then come back to this one and hopefully finish this. I got some of her hair down, but I am very, very done with her hair. I'm admitting lost for tonight. But yeah, thank you for anyone who has showed up. Thank you for anyone who has lurked or chatted or anything. Thank you, whoever. But yeah, that is it for me. I will be streaming again probably next Monday or next Tuesday. That'll be the next time I'm available to do drawings again and streaming. So I hope you all have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night, or whatever time it is for you. It is nighttime for me. So this is Fumencio signing off. Hope you have a wonderful time. I'll see you when I see ya. Yosha, boy boy. Where's the end button? Ah! Where is it? End. Thank you.